Welcome to Intuition Weekly. I'm Asia, and this is your weekly intuitive forecast. Each week, I tap into the energies of the week ahead to channel messages that help you navigate with clarity. Your intuition led you here for a reason. Let's see what messages are coming through for you this week. Hey everyone, welcome back to Intuition Weekly. This is your intuitive forecast for the week of April 14th through the 20th. But like always, whenever these messages find you, just trust that it's in the right time. Energy does not follow the calendar, and your soul knows exactly when to push you to tune in. And this week, the theme came in really strong and clear for me, and this is a theme of renewal. But it's not a flashy, dramatic renewal. This is the kind of renewal that's soft, it's sacred, it's the kind that arrives kind of after a soul storm. And it's not about adding anything into your life. It's really about washing it all away, just stripping away all of the things that no longer matter and getting down to the true, real basics of what your soul really needs. And I kept seeing water, and I was seeing these waves of water just washing over everything and stripping it down to its essence. And it feels like maybe life was becoming a little too cluttered, too performative, too noisy, or maybe your brain was just getting too involved. And you just had so many questions, but really this is about removing all of those questions, stripping down, and just listening to your soul. And this energy, this renewal energy this week is really offering a cleanse. It's like a soul rinse. It's an invitation to return to what truly matters for you. And this week is all about removing all the extra bullshit that just doesn't actually belong to us. These are beliefs that we have picked up along the way. They are expectations that we never really on a soul level agreed to. And the identities that we have formed from that is just coming out of our fear or our insecurity. And this week, this renewal, it's about washing it all away. And so even the way that we do spirituality, it's going to get simplified as well. So we don't need 100 rituals this week. We don't need to check off every box on some metaphysical checklist. The medicine for this week is in the quiet. It's in the remembering of what our soul really wants us to know. It's in the returning to our soul and remembering. So think, instead of putting more steps in to set you up with that renewal, I want you to think fewer steps, fewer stories. I want you to allow more space and just ground in to your soul. And last week in that exercise that we did, I actually sat down and did that exercise for myself this morning. And it was such a short and simple exercise, but it really brought everything into focus for me. And that mantra or that affirmation that I got from that exercise was, I allow my soul to be my guide. And I feel like that line for me really opened up a door because I feel like I've been doing this soul searching, and 2 days ago I was on top of the world and I just felt so aligned and so amazing. And then yesterday, all these fears and insecurities were coming up for me. And I feel like that message, that affirmation of I allow my soul to be my guide, I feel like that just opened up a door for me. And I feel like the energy of this week, that energy walks through that door. And it's saying, okay, if your soul is the guide, let's clear the path. And you may feel some resistance to this, like your body doesn't want to move in that direction. Like your mind is tired of jumping through all these hoops. And that is the design of all this. It's not exhaustion from doing the steps. This is actually wisdom coming through you and telling you to just sit in quiet and to not overdo it this week. There's like a sacred stripping away that's happening. And here's the thing. When everything else falls away, what's left is not emptiness. What's left is your truth. And I felt this week. There were so many moments where I just felt scattered, uncertain, insecure. And yet all it took was that one moment of stillness, that one moment of remembering, and it brought me right back. And we're all navigating an overwhelming world. And there's so much advice, and there's so many opinions, and there's so many ways to do things the right way, quote unquote. But I believe that the real wisdom lives in that simplicity. And remember, your soul did not come here to this earth plane to follow somebody else's checklist. Your soul came here to experience this life fully, to remember who you truly are, and to live in that truth. And so this week, if you're feeling overwhelmed or off balance, you need to just take a deep breath and a moment of quiet and return to your soul. So strip it all down, get quiet, And I want you to choose the most basic, true, and aligned next step. And don't think about this as a regression. It's not a regression. This is more of a recalibration. And this is a reminder that renewal doesn't mean that you have to do more. It means trusting that less is more than enough. And I did have 3 predictions that were coming through this week. And I don't know if those predictions were spot on for you guys last week, but oh my God, every single one of those happened exactly to the T of how those messages were coming through to me. And so I feel like we're on to something here. And the first prediction I saw was of a bluebird. And I feel like this bluebird is like a little bit of luck that is going to be handed to you. It's going to just land in your lap. And instead of getting all dramatic about it, I want you guys to keep the energy light and tell yourself that you deserve this bluebird. And keep in mind that when we deserve it and when we hold that energy of deserving it, we're actually inviting more magic and synchronicities into our life. It's actually allowing for everything to fall into place. And again, it's just allowing, it's not anticipating, and that allowing is going to attract and it's going to magnetize. And the message wasn't just about the bluebird, it was also about building this nest for the bird. And the bluebird really represents this little blessing that's trying to find you, but the nest is what's going to allow that bluebird to land. And this week you may receive a sign or a message or some type of synchronistic moment. It's something that's going to remind you that you are seen and that you are supported. But if you are moving too fast, or if you are chasing or hustling or trying to control, you're probably going to miss those messages, and that bluebird may fly right past you. So I have an invitation for you. Can you become a nest for your own joy? Can you soften enough to allow the good things in? And most of the time we are so used to pushing and proving, and we think that we almost have to earn joy, that we have to struggle before receiving. But that's just a story, and that's a story that I'm asking you to let go of this week. And you are being guided to build your own nest of allowing. And really that means that you're needing to create internal safety within yourself. And that goes back to that affirmation that I had that was, I allow my soul to be my guide. And that's really telling yourself that you're safe to receive, that you're open to joy, and that you deserve this little bluebird moment. And the truth is that you don't manifest from striving, you manifest from alignment. And that bluebird energy, it's light, it's playful, and it's not going to land on heavy, frantic energy. It's going to seek out the softness. And so if you want more blessings to come into your life, you're going to need to become the version of yourself who's safe enough to receive them. And you need to become that nest. And I actually have a little exercise for us this week at the end of the reading. So stay tuned. And this exercise is going to form that nest for us, and it's going to allow that bluebird to land. So stick around. Do you ever feel like you're so close to the life you're meant for, but something just keeps blocking the way? A one-on-one soul reading brings that missing piece into focus, uncovering your soul's true purpose and shining a light on the patterns and blind spots holding you back. Book your one-on-one soul reading with me now at intuitionweekly.com. Prediction number 2, I saw a lawnmower. And maybe that's a little bit of a strange symbol that we wouldn't expect, but I think that it completely makes sense with our theme this week, with the theme of renewal and all the messages that were coming through. And this image was about clearing the excess, about trimming back the overgrowth in your life. That's mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically. Anywhere that you have let things pile up, and anywhere that you've been holding on to what's outlived its purpose. And this week is about cutting the noise, letting go of what's cluttering your field and making room for something new to grow. So think about the state of an overgrown yard. It's chaotic, it's wild, it's dense. It can be beautiful in a way, but also things that are untended and disorganized tend to be hard to navigate. So now imagine trimming all of that back, clearing paths, and creating shape and space in that overgrown yard. That is what your soul is asking for this week. So I want you to ask what in your life has grown unruly and what needs to be lovingly cut away. This could be physical. You could be needing to clean your space and get organized, but it could also be internal, letting go of obligations, thought loops, roles you're tired of playing. Because once that clearing happens, the most beautiful thing occurs. You are creating space. And in that space, you finally have room to receive what's been trying to reach you. And this could be new opportunities, new insights, new practices. It could be a new project that's trying to come through, or even just allowing peace in your life. So this week, it's time to do some clearing. to create space and to trim the excess. And instead of focusing on what's gone, I want you to turn your heart and your attention to what is now possible. And prediction number 3, I saw a flamingo. And if you think of a flamingo, they are these stunning creatures. They are vibrant, they are bold, they are graceful. But what really stands out to me when I think of a flamingo is their balance and their poise. A flamingo can stand confidently on one leg. They don't wobble, they don't wane. Even when the water beneath them is moving, even when there's chaos around them, they just stand firm. And they're standing out. They're vibrant. They're bright colored. They are completely strong in standing out. And they're actually embracing that boldness and standing completely confidently and strongly on that one leg. And I want you to call in that energy this week. So even if your life is feeling chaotic, even if you're doubting yourself, even if you're feeling super overwhelmed by emotions, I want you to stand tall and I want you to hold your own frequency. And you're needing to root into who you are and don't budge on that. You don't need opinions from outside people. If you feel something strongly in yourself, I want you to keep it to yourself and I want you to just embody it. And just because your circumstances are unstable doesn't mean you need to. And if you're feeling off or you're feeling like you're losing your footing, I want you to remember that that's going to happen. That trying to stay balanced in a world that's moving around you is going to feel like you're off-centered. But like the lawnmower, remove all of those thoughts and just come back to yourself and ground yourself, and you will stabilize. And I've got a little integration practice that I want you to do this week. And we're going to visualize that nest to allow space for that bluebird to come to us. And so just find yourself a quiet space. You really don't need anything for this except for a quiet place for you to go within. And find a comfortable position. And I want you to place one hand over your heart and one hand over your belly. And I want you to take a deep breath in through your nose. And I want you to sigh it out through your mouth. Now imagine a beautiful nest inside your chest, soft, warm, and made of light. This nest is your internal home. This is a place where your soul can rest. It is safe, it is open, and it is spacious. And now imagine a bluebird flying towards that nest. And this bluebird is carrying some sort of a blessing for you. And this could be a bit of peace or joy. This could be love, or this could be some sort of a message or breakthrough that this bluebird is carrying for you. And watch as this bluebird gently lands inside your nest. And I want you to just feel that moment. Feel the safety and the joy of allowing this bluebird to arrive and rest in that nest. And when you take a deep breath in, I want you to say to yourself or out loud, I allow. And when you breathe out, I want you to repeat the words, I receive. And now I want you to bring your awareness to your legs. And I want you to feel your feet. And I want you to feel the ground beneath you at your feet, or I want you to feel the root of your spine touching down. And I want you to imagine roots growing from your feet or from your root and going deep into the earth. They're reaching down, they are strong, they are steady, and they are reaching deep into the earth. And I want you to say to yourself, I stand tall in who I am. I stay balanced even when life moves. My roots run deeper than any storm in my life. And let yourself hold this grounded, open energy for a few moments and a few more breaths. And when you're ready, I want you to gently open your eyes and return to your day. And that is your soul guidance for the week. Let it all fall away and come home to yourself. Be the nest and trim what no longer serves you. Stand tall in your knowing. I hope that this exercise brings you a little bit more peace this week, and I hope these messages help you through your week ahead. And remember to always trust the quiet to trust your rhythm, and to really truly trust in your own soul, because your soul knows exactly what you need to know and exactly where you're meant to be. And I love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in this week. And if you haven't done so already, can you please go into whatever app you're listening to this podcast in, and can you just click the subscribe? And while you're at it, can you tap the 5 stars to show some love? It would truly, truly mean so much to me if you could do those 2 things. Thanks again for tuning in, and I will see you next week. Love you much.